Breaking news, Bitcoin could skyrocket to $850,000. This is not a drill. What's fueling this insane prediction? Well, today, I'll show you the behind-the-scenes moves that governments, corporations, and billionaires are making, and why this could be your last chance to get ahead before the mother of all Bitcoin supply shocks changes everything. I'm Rustin, head of news at Simply Bitcoin, and you might want to strap in, because it's time to send it!
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
You're embracing crypto. Very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve-like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head.
So is there a limit to how much Bitcoin you're going to acquire?
No, I've said we'll just keep buying the top forever. Every day is a good day to buy Bitcoin. We look at it as cyber Manhattan. I would have bought Manhattan 100 years ago, 200 years ago, every year for the past 300 years. You pay a little bit more than the person that bought Manhattan before you, but it's always a good investment to invest in the economic capital of the free world.
Let me guess, your neighbor is still bragging about the Tesla they financed at 7% interest. Meanwhile, you're over here wondering if Bitcoin might actually be your ticket to a yacht, or at least paying off your student loans before your knees give out. Well, guess what? Analysts are calling for 850K Bitcoin, and the president is doubling down. Yeah, you heard me. That's a lot of zeros, my friends. Enough to make even Augustine Carstens put down his jelly donuts. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, sure, I've heard this before. Bitcoin to $1 million, Lambos for everybody. But this time, it's different.
You bet your life it's not going to zero?
I used to tell people it could definitely go to zero to try and be, conservative. I don't think it's possible now. 50 million people in the U.S. own it, 300 million people globally. BlackRock and Fidelity are selling it. Like, it really has reached escape velocity.
But you're 745,000. I mean, I heard 13 million from Michael Saylor the other day.
I think it can go, it's going up 3 orders of magnitude since we launched our fund. I think it could go up a fourth, and that puts it at 15 trillion market cap, which it still seems relatively small versus 500 trillion of financial assets. That's doable.
Okay, so here's the deal. Governments around the world are losing their damn minds. And Thailand's government is asking itself, should we make Bitcoin legal tender? Spoiler alert, yes you should, Thailand. And President Trump, well, he's planning a strategic Bitcoin reserve on day one. Not infrastructure, not healthcare, freaking Bitcoin. Roll it!
I also know Trump is looking at a day one executive order.
Sorry. Day one executive order for a Bitcoin reserve for the United States?
Yeah, but so I know that there's people looking at the Dollar Stabilization Act as it gives the president wide discrepancy to protect the dollar, and there's potential to use a day one executive order to purchase Bitcoin. It wouldn't be at the size and scale of 1 million coins, but it would be a significant position.
How wild is that? We've got presidents plotting Bitcoin reserves like they're stocking up on canned goods for the apocalypse. Meanwhile, the current administration is handing out money like candy and wondering why inflation is higher than Snoop Dogg at Burning Man Festival. Also, Dre and Snoop just dropped an album. It's called Missionary, and it's absolute fire. Okay, but back to the task at hand. Governments aren't just scared, they're scrambling. And when the people who print money for a living are scared of Bitcoin, maybe you should start paying attention. Roll it.
Once you get Bitcoin and it clicks in your mind, your immediate reaction is, oh, I got to hurry and buy as much as I can because someone else is going to go take all my Bitcoin away from me. So like in 2020, when I started buying Bitcoin, I was thinking, oh no, I got to do this in a hurry because someone's going to figure it out and the price is going to 10x. And I better get it before it 10x's. So, I mean, that's a natural reaction when it finally clicks in your head. Because you're thinking, why wouldn't every billionaire in the world go and buy $1 billion of Bitcoin, smash buy it overnight, and just to make $1 billion? Because why wouldn't they just want to make the $1 billion or 5 billion or 10 billion or any amount of money? I mean, Bitcoin, it feels like in the early days the infinite money glitch, right?
Harmon, if you're out there on X, I think Saylor just described the o-fucking. Speaking of Saylor, let's talk about the big dogs. Institutions. Last week alone, the US ETFs bought 21,000 300 Bitcoin, that's 10 times the amount miners are producing. It's kind of like trying to feed 50 kids with one Lunchable. And guess who owns 2% of all Bitcoin? MicroStrategy. Yeah, Michael Saylor's company, they did it again too. My friends, they're not stopping. The guy basically said, forget gold, I'm buying the future. Now they're being added to the NASDAQ 100. That's a big deal. Meanwhile, Uncle Larry at BlackRock, yes, that BlackRock, is telling their clients to put 2% of their portfolios into Bitcoin. 2%, that's pocket change for these people, but for us, that's well beyond our rent money. So if you're thinking, maybe I'll wait until Bitcoin dips, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Please see Germany for what not to do, absolute morons. Roll it.
How do you feel about this 1 million Bitcoin in 5 years? Because if they do indeed start purchasing, are we going to see countries and nations FOMOing into it?
Yeah, of course. That's we will get FOMO. If the United States starts it and they see the price going up and they really start to look into it, they will realize that we are far behind and we have to catch up. And that's when they are going to start to buy Bitcoin as well. And it will be more expensive for us in the European Union because we will miss the opportunity to be the first to do it. And if Trump really follows through with all the promises he's making, the United States will have a huge advantage against all the other countries. Just think about if Trump realizes that he can pay off the US debt by buying Bitcoin. It will change the world, to be honest. So yeah, politicians have to wake up. I don't think, to be honest, that Trump really gets Bitcoin with all the things he said, talking about cryptocurrency and everything, but he has very, very good people in his team. And I met some of the guys who are working with Trump, really great Bitcoiners, and I am very confident that they will push him in the right direction.
It looks like they're trying to repent, but institutional FOMO is real and they're coming for what little Bitcoin is left. Do yourself a favor, beat them to it before they outbid you faster than someone at an auction for Elvis's jumpsuit. Also, we're seeing signals that someone may be swimming naked. And with Bitcoin on its way to 850K, you need to protect your generational wealth. We're about to break down why President Trump just confirmed 850K Bitcoin. But before we bring it home, look at our likes.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Enjoying the show so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, set those notifications for the best in Bitcoin delivered to you daily. Give us a pamp! While we take a moment to recognize our sponsors, they are the masters of Bitcoin self-custody. And if you've seen the reports, it's time to get your Bitcoin off the exchanges. Become a sovereign individual today. Check out the Bitcoin way. Guys, being that we live in clown world, it's pretty easy to understand the why Bitcoin, but over at the Bitcoin way, that's where you're going to learn how to Bitcoin. Check out their newly revamped website. If you're looking to become a master of Bitcoin self-custody, no one makes it easier. From setting up your first wallet node to inheritance planning to everything Bitcoin sovereignty, they got you covered. Hey, and if you're looking to get started, you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with the Bitcoin way using that link in the show notes.
There's characteristics of why gold for 4,000 years has been used to represent value, but it has nothing to do with what it's used for.
No, it stores value well because it's very difficult to increase the supply of gold. It's very difficult to increase the supply of gold substantially. Every year, the supply of gold goes up at only around 1.5% to 2%. And so that means that people who hold it as money end up doing very well for themselves, and people who hold other things don't do well. And that is true for gold, and that's what made gold money for the whole world practically at the beginning of the 20th century. Then governments come about, and they use their debt as money. And since then, the average over the last 60 years or so, between 1960 and 2020, for 60 years, the average fiat currency grew in supply at around 14% per year. Or overall, fiat currencies grew in supply at around 14% per year. So we went from 1.5% to 14%, about 10-fold increase in the supply growth rate. And 14% per year means that on average, you lose half of the value that's stored in money over 5 years. So you lose half of the value of your money over 5 years. That's the average fiat experience. Of course, some currencies are better than the average, like the US dollar and euro. They only increase at around 7-8% per year. Some currencies are a lot worse. They increase at 20, 50, maybe 100 sometimes % per year. But on average, it's just continuously increasing in supply, so its value declines. And because its value declines, that incentivizes everybody to A, not save, and B, take on a lot of debt. And that's why everybody is in debt. And that's what Bitcoin fixes. If we go back to having having a hard money where money is no longer debt. We no longer need to be monetizing debt. We no longer need to get everybody to become a debt slave in order for us to have a form of money. We have a form of money that is just a commodity that doesn't require anybody to get into debt for it.
Okay, my autistic brethren, let's crunch some numbers. Bitcoin has a hard cap of 21 million coins. That's it. No shady backroom deals to print more. Meanwhile, the global wealth pool sits at 898 trillion. And here we are, barely scratching the surface with Bitcoin adoption. But if Bitcoin even sniffs gold's market cap, we're looking at 850K per coin. And the president is signaling a massive boom. And so is his former campaign manager. I don't know if any of us are really prepared for what's coming. Let's put it in perspective. Bitcoin hitting 850K is like finding out your $200 garage sale painting is actually a Picasso. It's rare, it's beautiful, and everyone wants it. But too bad, because you got there first. Scarcity drives value. And if you think gold's been holding the throne for centuries, just wait until Bitcoin says, hold my beer, Peter. Because 850K Bitcoin is just the beginning. Roll it!
Everyone comes to Bitcoin eventually. You get it at the price you deserve. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. Okay, Donald Trump's learning curve on Bitcoin just started. And, you know, he's like a lot of people who come to Bitcoin and said, I just found Bitcoin. Here's how you improve it. No, you are second to Bitcoin. You will have to bend the knee to Bitcoin, just like everybody else. Bitcoin is on its own vector.
What does the United States or the president that is in the election have to do, you know, to bend the knee?
He has to make Bitcoin legal tender. He has to start putting Bitcoin on the treasury of the U.S. government, and he has to start in the Bitcoin global hash war. Every country is not going to be adding Bitcoin to their reserve status to compete in the global hash war in the 21st century. That's World War Bitcoin. You have to have Bitcoin. It's a mad scramble to get more Bitcoin because the fiat money world is collapsing. So if you want to win World War Bitcoin, you need to start accumulating and hoarding and buying and stacking Bitcoin aggressively as soon as possible.
So what's your move? Easy. Start now. Even if it's just a little dollar cost average, because the way things are going by next year, Bitcoin could be adding another zero, not going to zero. And trust me, nobody wants to be the person saying, yeah, I thought about buying Bitcoin back in 2024, but I spent it on an air fryer. Don't be that guy. Here's a tip. Don't try to time the market. Just get in. Because you know who waits for perfect timing? Losers. Winners see an opportunity and grab it. The clock is ticking, and Bitcoin's not slowing down for anyone. Imagine a world where Bitcoin is the global currency. No inflation, no shady bank bailouts, no whatever the hell we're calling fiat these days. That's the future. And you've got a front row seat to the greatest wealth transfer in history. Don't miss it. Whoa! Wait a minute. Did you guys hear that? Something's coming.
Holy shnikey.
It's the biggest Bitcoin mining conference on the planet, and it's coming to Fort Lauderdale, March 25th through the 27th. Get your tickets today and join thousands of Bitcoin mining professionals and enthusiasts from around the globe for an electrifying experience at Mining Disrupt. See the latest cutting-edge hardware, products, and services that are revolutionizing the Bitcoin mining industry. For over half a decade, Mining Disrupt has been the premier conference and expo exclusively dedicated to the Bitcoin mining industry. Be part of the future and join the movement that's shaping the world of Bitcoin mining. Don't miss out. Head over to miningdisrupt.com and get your tickets today. Use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. Hope to see you guys there, because Simply Bitcoin will be running the news desk, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a pep, and spread that sound money gospel. Hey, and if you want to keep this bullish party going, click here. Oh, the times they are a-changing. Hey, I love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, f*** you.